It's nice to be here. Really interesting stuff from this morning. Thank you, guys. That is really open art to what we're going to talk about now. I'm here to talk about from a telco perspective for advertising, but I had a different slant completely. And then last night I had dinner with a friend who is in from South Africa, who works for a full-service media agency. And I said, how does your agency approach mobile and digital? And she started talking about social, she started talking about online and all its various formats. And then she brought up mobile and she started saying, looking at from SMS blasts to applications and very standalone and siloed, which got me kind of thinking. So I asked her, I said, give me your typical mobile usage of a day. So she said, well, I wake up in the morning to my personalized alarm clock on my phone. I then respond to my SMS. She's actually putting it in the perspective of arriving here. So she sent the SMS to her mother to let you know she was here. She responded to some instant messages. She checked her work email. She checked her personal email. She checked her Facebook. She then called her colleagues to confirm where they were going to be meeting. And then she checked on Google Maps. So I thought, interesting. So you've just given your overall experience as kind of a converged platform, converged technology, but you're approaching it to your clients very differently, which I thought was very interesting. So it's brought me to kind of think, 5-10 years ago, marketers would have dreamed to have a technology that would, with that multiple touch points in such a short period of time. So then we started kind of thinking, what are the challenges around that to advertise? We thought, well, because it's so personal and there are so many touch points, we have to be careful on how we deliver messages across those various formats. And we kind of said it's kind of like early days of radio where, the mass market listening to a radio station and they've got 30 seconds to speak to one particular group out of thousands. And how do they do that? They got creative with the copy. So they were talking, if they're speaking to women between a certain age group or and they would use a specific tone, certain words that would trigger emotion to get them thinking about it and get them engaged. So that's kind of what we have to take with mobile. We have to be creative across all these multiple touch points, across various formats, to make sure that those messages aren't, the user's actually receiving it at the right time. And that's kind of getting the right message to the right time, to the right user that adds value to their experience is a major challenge. Also getting creative and Moby thinking is another challenge that we face. And then it's kind of getting that target market of one, which is the ideal situation. We don't no longer. I think Chris brought it up earlier about the not looking at the brief from a kind of group perspective and a target market, but actually individualizing that. So as opposed to a media agency, for example, getting a brief that says, I'm targeting women between 25 and 35 who's interested in fashion and they're interested in celebrity news, etc. Now you're saying, no, we need to make that one individual person. So we said, we've got Jo, she's from Abu Dhabi, she's a Western expat, she's interested in fashion, she's interested in cars, she spends X amount on her mobile, etc. So then think, this is kind of where the telco can come in and really add value. So what I wanted to, so from my perspective, what we do is manage telco mobile operating solutions across a number of operators. But Intigral are a content company. So what we do is provide over 9,000 services to telcos across the region. And we've got this database of about probably 5 million users who are opted in to content. And now by content, I mean premium subscription content, women's services, Islamic, sports news, both across premium SMS, premium MMS, and applications. So we've got all that data, and we also have the subscriber data. So when Jo from Abu Dhabi needed to get her SIM card, she had to go and give her passport, which has all her up-to-date information, and just to get that SIM card. So then we've got this whole subscriber database, we've got all this content subscriber base, and we thought, wait, we can create we want to promote advertising. So how do we do this? So we needed to identify what is our proposition from a telco perspective. So why would Jo want to receive messages from her operator? So we said, right, we need to create a three-way value exchange. The first to the customer. So what is it going to be valued to Jo? The second is the operator. What is the value in that? And then third to the advertiser. So from Jo's perspective, she's going to receive personalized messages. She's going to, that's all relevant to her, that's based on her interests. To the operator, the benefit and the value is higher ARPU, is increased loyalty, lower churn, which is proven, a number of propositions that we've ran, and then to the advertiser, they've got that target market of one, which has gone from that generic brief to that one individual. So female audience down to Joe from Abu Dhabi. So that was kind of key. So the challenge was, so we've got all this data, how do we then get people to say, yes, I want to receive, give us their permission really. So we took that, drove an opt-in campaign, got the users to then give us their permission to then communicate with them. So then you can see a real value. We've got we have their age, we've got their gender, we've got their name, we've got their location, we've got all their interests. So we can really drill down and then target them based on that, which is kind of key. And I think operators, I think advertisers, why money's not going into operator base is that kind of misalignment and disconnect of not having the real understanding of how important data is and data on that user. So kind of in conclusion, what I'd like to say is that to get more money put into mobile, we have to start thinking more creatively. We've got to think on how we get that right message to the right person at the right time and add value. And how do we get that target market of one? And it really shows that telco can actually deliver that. So that's my stance on telco. Thank you very much.